Hey guys, welcome back to Team 8. So I'm going to be starting a bit of a mini-series. And this mini-series is going to be called the Weekly Wednesday Update. And basically all it's going to be is me kind of gathering deals and nice little bits of information about all the different PC gaming platform stores. So not just Steam, but also Epic Games as well as GOG and even Uplay. Now, Uplay typically isn't something I get very excited about, but recently they had the Division 2 on for about $4.50 taxes in Canadian, which is an incredible deal. And I said, you know what, why not? We're going to cover Uplay as well. That said, it'll just be a little series kind of going over the good things on each different gaming platform and kind of seeing where the best deal lies, as well as maybe a bit of news. Whether good or bad, I'll try to shed some light on a couple of things, and we'll see how that goes. I may end up branching out to hardware, if ever there's good deals on hardware, you know, either on Newegg or checking prices on Amazon as well. But for now, we'll stick with just the games. That said, I'm currently enjoying Borderlands 3. You know, shame me for playing it on the Epic Games Store, but it's been a decent game, and the new Broken Hearts Day event is pretty sick too. But yeah, that'll be the Weekly Wednesday update, just bringing you a little bit of goodness every Wednesday. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so we're going to start off on the Epic Games Store here. First thing you always want to note is the free games. Not that they make up for being on an Epic Games Store, but free games are still free games, right? So Kingdom Come Deliverance, I'm told, is a very good game, well worth grabbing. Aztez, grab it, because why not? I don't know whether or not it's a decent game, I haven't heard too much about it. But it's a good time to try it out and see. As far as any other real discount on Epic Games, I believe The Outer Worlds is 50% off, which is nice, and Red Dead Redemption 2 should also be 40% off. So that's decent, it's not awful. But other than that, this week there's not a whole lot to note on Epic Games in terms of deals. So we'll head on over to a bit more exciting news, which is Steam. So Steam has finally been able to have Metro Exodus be put on their platform, thanks to the exclusivity deal with Epic coming to an end. And they're doing so with a beautiful discount of 40% off right off the bat, starting off at $30 for the full game of Metro Exodus. Now, of course, this is without the DLC, however, still a very good deal. And you can see the DLC here is on for $22.49. So that's a highlight for Steam anyways, just the release of Metro Exodus finally coming to Steam. Well worth looking into. It is a great game. I've got an Epic Games Store, unfortunately, but it is still a great game, be it on Epic or Steam. Now, I want to shed some light on one thing that I've found out just recently about Epic Games Store while we still have it open here. So earlier during the week I was having problems with my internet, and a very interesting thing here is that even though I know I understand that's DRM, but with Steam, for example, if I didn't have a solid internet connection, I could always start on offline mode and I'd still be able to play my game single player. Right? I'd be able to play my Metro Exodus single player, and that would go flawlessly. However, on Epic Games Store, if you can't get a solid connection, you cannot play. Now, they give you an option to skip the sign-in, but if you skip the sign-in, you're not signed into your account, and you can't have access to any of the games that you have. You can't run them, you can't play them. And I figured that out just yesterday while our router was having issues. And I thought that was one of the biggest design flaws I've ever seen. You have a game, especially if it's an offline game. Say if I had Observer on here or the Talos Principle, and I just wanted to play that. I wouldn't be able to on Epic Games because they essentially require you to log in. I don't even know what the point of having the function to skip the sign in is if they don't let you play any games, especially single player games. Because that's the purpose, right? You don't always need to be connected to play single player games, or at least you shouldn't be. So that's a little negative that I found out about Epic Games Store just the other day. So aside from that, GOG has also got some great news going for it. So GOG is slowly but steadily acquiring more and more games as the time goes on, which is great news because it is DRM free, which again, I've elaborated in many other videos in the past, but basically means that you own a copy of the game as opposed to buying the license for the game. If you guys need explanation on that, I'm sure most of you understand it, but if you do, I made a video on it not very long ago. But they've got the Bethesda publisher sale on. Not only that, but they've finally acquired the Dishonored collection. So now they have all Dishonored games, and they're selling it at a nifty price of $32.99 Canadian, which is a solid buy, considering you're getting the first game with all the DLCs. You're getting Dishonored 2, as well as Death of the Outsider. Let's just look into the specifics here, but I think that's pretty much it. I wasn't a huge fan of number 2, but I still played it. I thought it was still playable. It was enjoyable. But yeah. So it gives you the Death of the Outsider. It gives you number 1, the Definitive Collection, so with all the DLCs, of course, and number 2 as well, which is pretty decent here. But if we go back to the Bethesda publisher sale, notice that they also have a lot of the older games, which is kind of nice about GOG. They have a lot of hidden gems that were released a long time ago that a lot of platforms don't really sell anymore. So for example, basically the first Elder Scrolls, 1997. Not that anyone really kind of aims for those types of games anymore. They're a little outdated, of course, but for those who want to get back to the nostalgia, there's always that option. Morrowind, of course, is a classic. And unfortunately, none of the newer Fallout or Doom titles are on here. Maybe as time progresses, they'll kind of throw that on there. But for now, the main thing I wanted to highlight was the addition of Dishonored to the store. Now, just to show you guys what I was talking about here. So we are now on Uplay, and I guess they're celebrating the release of Warlords of New York, and that's the reason as to why they're having such a nice sale. If we scroll down here slightly, we'll see that the Division is on for $3.99 Canadian. That is pennies. The regular, well, the advertised price anyways is about $80. I'm sure you can find it cheaper elsewhere. But just goes to show you, like, if there's a Uplay game that interests you, or a game on Uplay that interests you, one made by Ubisoft, be it The Division or Six Siege or whatever, they do often have massive deals on their games on the launcher itself. You just have to go and buy it on the launcher as opposed to buying it through Steam or elsewhere on Epic. But $3.99 before taxes is an incredible deal. Now, I don't know too much about the DLC itself. I hope it turns out to be a pretty solid DLC. But I guess we'll see when it releases. That said, that'll be it for this weekly Wednesday update. I know it's Tuesday, but I'm just trying it out as a prototype today. Just because I have the time to do it. But if you do like what you saw, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and take her easy.